Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about how to jump your Carrera track the easy way. Well, I think it's easy. All right, so here we are at the table. I've got my Carrera CU unit, and there's a few tools that you're gonna need. You can use a cutter to splice your cables. You don't need the cutter. I like using a cutter because these cables, you'll see in a second, are so easy to splice. If you have a proper wire cutter, I would use that instead, a wire splicer. You're gonna be needing some morettes, and I use a metallic marker to mark things up. Maybe some masking tape also, and some electrical tape. That's it, that's all you really need. Obviously, we're missing one major component, and that major component, which I love working with, and I think is the best and easiest way to jump your Carrera track, is speaker cable. Now, this can also be called, or this is also known as a lamp cable, because it can handle that, the electricity. I believe this is 18 gauge, and it comes in this nice rubber shielding here, very grippy, and you're gonna see why that's important in a second. And it also comes with an identification, where this one happens to be red and the other one there is no marking. So you can either do positive, negative, or left and right, however you wanna identify your cable. And when jumping from your Carrera track, the negative and positive is not as important as one, understanding the direction, the flow of electricity and the digital information. So understanding that it goes left, obviously start finish cars are going this way, that's the direction. I believe this is left if I'm still living on the right planet and in the right dimension. So we're going left. So obviously, yeah, this is the cable I use. It's cheap, it's very accessible. You can still get this if this is not like in a box somewhere up in your attic. Speaker cable or lamp cable. All right, without repeating myself. 18 gauge, and I believe you can get this at the dollar store. Did I say that? I might have to edit this out. I think I said that already. Okay, so this is my secret weapon. Now, let's take the CU unit, and rule of thumb, I take the CU and I flip it that way. So away from you, let's go this way, and boom. I already have some marks that I made with my trusty metallic pen. Very, very trusty. I just found it in a drawer, really, honestly. And it's telling me direction this way. Now, why is it more important, direction on the digital track? You want to make sure you're grabbing the left side of the lanes, because the digital information is flowing one way. So if you're doing obviously if you're running digital, you want to make sure that you grab the cleanest source of information possible. So you want to find your slits here into the track, and you want to take the red. Let's start with the red. We'll say the top. The red will be at the top, and then you can identify it as you will. You can call this left lane, right lane, and that way it's just easier to identify. So the more information you put on your track, the less confused you're going to be when jumping to other tracks, and I'll explain that in a second. Now, all you have to do is take your wire. Sorry, I had done a few other videos. So normally when you splice the wire, it's going to be nice. It's going to be a lot cleaner than this. It'll look like this. You want to do it about 1 inch. You want to cut about 1 inch, okay? And then you want to fold it on itself. This is the trick, so that you don't need those clips, those Carrera clips. You don't have to spend extra money on those Carrera clips. And there you go. You got some wire, fold it in on itself, okay? And you want to stuff that in that little slit there, that little area. And of course, now that it should go in a lot cleaner. It's just because I've done this 100 times already, because I can't make one simple video. So once it gets in there, boom. Okay, what I like, I was telling you guys, is that this rubber shielding really helps keep this wire in there. I'm not too worried that this is going to slip out. Now, with obviously some electrical tape or masking tape, you can tie this down and make a more confident connection, and then you can pass your wire however you want it to come out. So that way you know for sure that it'll never come out. But once it's in there, it's nice and snug. Obviously, if I had pulled on it too hard, it would come out, but you get the idea. And the same thing with this guy. I either put it in here or put him over here, and then that way you have the top lane or left lane section done. I would recommend you do 1 lane at a time so you're not confused. Or if you really wanted to do 2 lanes, get your second piece of cable, put it on the bottom piece, but label them. Label them so you're not confused after. It's all about labeling. It's all about being, organized, which I'm really bad at. And yeah, so the only other thing I want to mention is that there's not much space on the right lane, or lane 2, if you will. So I just connect these wires the opposite way. I put them in and I scaff them going this way. I stuff them in the opposite way. No big deal. Just be careful not to put too many wires here, because you're going to want the extra slack in this section here, because this is where the clip goes. So just be wary of that. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to want to identify where on the track your other jumpers are. My rule of thumb is every 10 pieces. Okay, 10, 11. I don't usually count quarter pieces or third pieces. I just count that as one. I mean, I don't count it at all. And I'll count, you know, take as many pieces in your track, divide that by 3, divide that by 2, depending on how many jumps you want to put in. But normally every 10 jumps should suffice, 10, 12 jumps should suffice, and try to put those jumps before lane changes or before any check lanes that you might have. So you might want to go do that on your track, mark which pieces, take out those pieces and flip them over. Now, again, when you flip them over, when you look at your piece, let's use this as an example. When you look at your piece, you want to flip it again away from you. That way, boom, look at that, all nicely, you know, identified. So you can say, okay, put a piece of tape, lane 1, lane 2. That way, when you take the end of your other connection, you know what's going on. Look at the red one, say, okay, we chose the red one, put it on the top rail, and then the other one at the bottom rail, and there you go, Bob's your uncle. So you want to maybe start off with lane 1, one at a time, do lane 2 right after, so you're not confused like I am. And that's just the way I did it. And again, with the arrow, so you're not confused as to which way it's going. Yeah, so that's it. So you can do this multiple times. Now let's get to the part where it might be confusing for people, because I've had that question when I was explaining a terminal block. But I think terminal blocks are something that you only need really if you want to organize under your table. So let's get to that. So if I have my wire already plugged in, okay, let's just do this really quick. Okay, plugged in there, plugged in there. Take the end of that wire. Obviously this is short for video purposes. You're gonna have to measure out how long you need your wires. And I have and I have 2 jumps. Let's say I have 2 jumps. So I've got my cable 1, right? My jump 1, so I would label this jump 1. I would label this jump 2. Boom, here you go. It's as simple as finding all the red ones, right? All the red marked wires, left or positive, whatever you want to call them, putting them all together. And obviously for this I took the wrong ends. Okay, let's flip it properly. And yeah, here we go. You take all the red ones, put them together. Okay, put all the reds together with your master red coming out of the CU. These are the jumps. Get this out of the way. All right, hopefully this is catching. There you go. See that? They're all together, nice and nice. Take your Marette, and that's it. Put them all together. So you should have 3 guys, twist them up. And I'm doing this really badly though, but just twist them up and there you go. Marette it together. Nice little twist. And that's it, guys. Boom. And do the same thing for the other side. And there you go. They're all connected. After that, you've got power going to all your wires. Plug them in, scaff them in there, like I showed you before. And that's it. This is the simplest thing. You know, just do them one at a time so you don't get confused, because once you start passing wires under the table, if you don't mark them all, it could get a little hectic. And yeah, that's it. And you can just Marette them and no big deal, right? Bob's your uncle, very easy. Now, I know that in my video, I showed you guys that I used these things. These are Phoenix Contact terminal blocks. You do not need these. These are overkill. These are expensive. You can look them up, Phoenix Contact. And I like them because, you know, I can put these on the DIN rail after and I can just stick that underneath my table. Nice and clean, nice and neat. This is a double layer terminal box. So basically you have one connection here, you have one connection here. So my negative and my positive. I will be using these for my light system. And I will be labeling them as I need 12 volts and 5 volts. But that's because I'm a little mental, guys, and I went a little overboard. You do not need these terminal blocks. I'm just showing you guys this because in my video I show that that's what I used, but it's really unnecessary. Marettes are your friend. And that's it, guys. That's all I gotta say. Jump your track every 10 pieces, 10 to 12 pieces. You should not have any issues. Get some cable, get some speaker cable, cut it, flip it on itself, scaff it in whatever slit is available. The CU is a little tricky. And that's my video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope that cleared up any questions anybody new to the hobby might have about jumping your track and jumping cables. If not, please leave a comment in the description below and I will try to answer them as quickly as I can. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and we will see you in the next one.